Hi, Misha here, and this Gun of the Day episode is more of a whale of the day. And this is a gun I just picked up during a collection buy this week, and I will be doing, or I should say we will be doing, a full video on it, history and operations and whatnot. But since the gun of the day is kind of whatever guns we feel like talking about, this has been foremost on my mind. So with that lengthy introduction, meet the Japanese Arisaka Type 0, or Type 100 if you like, Paratroopers takedown rifle. This is an exceedingly uncommon gun. If it looks like a standard Type 99, that's because it started life out as one. Essentially, they took Type 99s from Nagoya and they added this connection system here, as well as a new bolt. Otherwise, they had the same features and what have you. This rifle is complete, except it's missing its monopod. But I will rectify that. Next time a good Nagoya monopod comes in, I'll jank it for this one. But it still has its aircraft sights. It still has its cleaning rod. It even still has a dust cover on it, although I don't know if it's original or not. It's hard to tell. Real quick, what makes a Type 0? Especially how is it different from a Type 2? Well, the main difference is here. This locking latch under the barrel. It slides back, and when it's back, you can then twist the barrel about 60 degrees, and it's held in with interrupted threads, and then they just simply pull apart. So in some ways a more elegant system than on the later Type 2. But also far less durable and dependable and reliable and all that. In addition, the other big feature is that this came with a removable bolt handle. You'll notice it looks a little wonky and different here. That unscrewed, giving it essentially a flush fit, and of course also meaning that it had one very easily lost part. So what made this in Gun of the Day? Well, it has a neat story behind it. A friend went to look at a collection from an older gentleman who is slowly but surely thinning the herd. He's not just a gun collector. In fact, he's primarily not even a gun collector. He's more of a reenactor or retired reenactor. He has lots of uniforms, swords. He's really big into bayonets. But his family sat down with him and basically said, look, when you're gone, we have no idea what this stuff is. So you better find it a home, or we want what to do. So a friend went over to his place on Thursday, and he called me and said if I knew anything about a Paratrooper rifle that did not have the wedge. And obviously the Type 0 immediately came to mind. And the first thing I asked him was if it had the removable cocking handle. Not to get into money, but he quoted a price that he thought was high, and I told him no, it's not high. go back over and pick it up. So he went back on Saturday, and then he called me saying that it was potentially already spoken for, although not sold. Well, I was disappointed, but understanding, and such is life. Then he called me back later that evening saying tomorrow at 5 o'clock. So he made an appointment to go look at it. Went over there on Sunday, and sure enough, it's pretty much as you'd expect and hope. Type 0. And the price was the price. The only wrinkle, the guy wanted cash, and it being a Sunday, I had no way to get cash, so I had to basically give him a promise of taking it, and then go to the bank the next morning and get the cash, and went over and grabbed it and brought it home a couple of days ago. While there, I asked the guy, because he didn't have a huge Japanese collection. I mean, he had, a dozen guns, but he had a lot of trainers, which I thought was interesting, but not a lot of regular guns. And he said the story behind it, he picked this up. This was the first gun he bought as a kid. And I asked him about how old. He goes, 10 or 12. Apparently he'd been helping his grandfather over the summer sell fruit, and had been saving up money. And he saw this in a gun shop or pawn shop. And based on his age, that would have been just around 1960, give or take. And so I asked him, I said, why this gun? I mean, it's such an obscure gun and relatively rare variation. He goes, because it damn came apart. It was a takedown gun. He just thought that was super interesting, even as a kid. So, after saving up and whatnot, he bought it. And he's had it ever since. He said the store said it came from the veteran who brought it home. So, nominally, I am the third possessor of this in the USA. I thought the story with a certain personal touch was interesting. And to me, it seems like it's in overall good shape. If the metal looks a little dull or dingy to you, that's because it is still in Cosmoline. He had most of his guns Cosmoed up, which is good. We live in a humid climate, so if you're not going to shoot them, it's not a bad idea to Cosmo them. So I need to clean it up. And at that time, we will do a full video. Although I do not believe we'll be shooting this. There's a time and a place to shoot guns, and this is not one of them. This locking system, let's just say it hasn't gotten any stronger with age. It holds together reasonably okay here, but yeah, this would not be one. I definitely understand why they went from this to the Type 2 style. But yet, it's an interesting part of history. And it was a very kind of random pickup at a place not even half an hour's drive from my own house. So, with only a few known in the USA, it's kind of funny that all these years, a gun that honestly I never thought I'd own was so close by. But, yeah. This has been on my mind this week more than any other gun, so I thought, why not make it the gun of the day today. And I haven't done a few videos this week because of getting this collection and kind of sorting through it and just regular work on top of all that. So I apologize for being a little distant here recently, but we're still out here and still producing content. So with that, I'll let you go. If you could, like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to help support the channel, please check out the link to our Patreon page. This is Misha, and we'll catch you very soon next time.